Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Jordan Fisher.
I'm Tim Hatman.
I'm Cypher PK, and this is the May Contain
Action podcast.
Available on Apple, Spotify, Google Play, and more. Welcome to the May Contain Action podcast, where your two favorite people talk about content, pop culture, gaming, and other things with their favorite people and your favorite people. Support for the May Contain Action podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Got through it. Trevor May, that's me, a.k.a. I am Trevor May's host number 2, because the lovely Paul ActionJaxon is always our host number 1. Hey, Paul, what's up, dude?
Hey, bud. Hey, how you doing today?
Great.
Yeah.
So
you
good.
seemed a little stressed when you walked into our virtual studio. Are you all right?
You know, I've been stressed for a few days, but we'll get into that later in the show. It's one of our topics. Okay. But today we have a very, very special guest. You know, Paul's cool and all, but it's all about the guests here at the pod. Streamer, world traveler, show host, gamer extraordinaire, several thousand other things. But we don't have that much time. KittyPlays is here, everybody.
Woo! Hey guys!
In our virtual studio.
Yeah. Beautiful. Wow, the water's warm in this hot tub. When did you guys get that installed?
Nice. Woo! Right this moment.
Yeah. Our producer was like, that's going to be a bad idea. And I was like, shut up. And then we installed it.
Right. All this tech equipment and us in the hot tub. I love it.
It's totally
covering
fine.
1 inch from the water.
Commercial.
Just everything's 1 inch from the water. It'll be fine.
It's amazing how we've done that. How are you doing today, Kristen? How you doing?
I'm doing great. You know, everyone keeps asking me how my quarantine's going. And honestly, life has not changed. You know, I just got my man at home a little bit more to game with. And that's honestly about it. So
I feel like it hasn't changed a lot. Yeah. You're white in your wheelhouse? What?
I'm right in my wheelhouse.
You're traveling all the time. What do you mean?
Exactly. I hate it. What do you mean?
Oh,
I love staying home. Are you kidding?
You're the only baseball player I know that like hates playing baseball. So
I gotta walk straight onto this plane.
It's the worst. I feel like that's be worse for you, Kristen, because you like travel all the time. It's like a constant thing. So
I love traveling. Yeah, I do travel a lot. And the funny thing is this year I was like, you know, I'm going to slow it down a bit. You know, planes aren't that good for the environment all the time, or for me and my psyche. I'm going to slow down. So January and February was really easy going. I had a couple of meetings in San Francisco for one day, but other than that, I was in LA the whole time. And then this whole thing happened. I'm like, oh, wow, I really manifested this. Dang, okay. Can't leave the house now, but I travel among the rooms, you know, it's like the kitchen to the lounge, like create different activities.
Wow.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. Have you thrown on a pair of jeans in the past couple of days?
Okay, I tried to throw on a pair of jeans.
How does one try to put on jeans? How do you attempt?
It was, you know, whatever that gif is of that girl that's just, you know, jumping up and down trying to get her jeans on, that was me. Yeah, I can't. I'm not upset about it. You know, I'm just a little thicker. You know, it makes it easier to lay in the lounge.
Totally fine.
Much more comfortable. It was a strategic decision.
Absolutely. Everyone strategically thought to themselves, I think thicker is going to be better in this start.
Thicker's always better.
100%.
Yeah.
Trevor's gotten huge.
I'm doing a good job too.
Every time I talk to Trevor, he's eating.
I noticed something really weird today. This is going to be, I don't know why I thought, I do know why I thought of this, but so as a baseball player, we wear cleats, and cleats, you know, we get calluses for our feet that are good for you to like protect from sliding around your cleats, and cleats aren't the best thing for your feet in the world. And I've worn shoes like twice in 2 weeks. Like I just put on flip flops when I got to run downstairs, so I don't wear, and so I'm losing my calluses, and like the edges of my toes and feet are so sore.
Huh.
Oh,
it's super weird. I woke up, I'm like,
cleats
what?
At home? Is that going to be
something? I don't even know. I need to start kicking the wall a little bit every once in a while just to make sure that I'm hitting my feet on stuff.
Clomping around, you sound like a Clydesdale. Kate's like, what does that sound? Honey, I gotta wear the cleats inside.
I already throw into a net inside, and might as well throw on the cleats. Just throw on the whole uniform. Just throw into a net in my office.
Perfect.
You have a net you throw into in your office?
Yeah. TikTok video coming soon.
Oh.
I actually can't wait to see that. Sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm. It's actually pretty funny. It's pretty funny. We haven't quite gotten it done yet, but it's funny.
Love to see that.
That'd be a great live stream too. I'd love that.
Yeah. It gets old really fast. I thought it would be funny too, but everyone's like, okay, what do you do now? I'm like, same thing, 100 times.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't watch. I keep wanting to call you Kitty because it comes very naturally. But Kristen, how did you get the name Kitty Plays Games? We'd like to kind of know where that came from, but also I think possibly even more importantly than where you got your name from, what were some of the other names you may have had in gaming, like back in the day?
Okay, I'm going to start with that because that was, the timeline of things.
Of course.
My very first notable name, I would say, was probably my Xbox Live gamer tag. Like the first one that felt like it was kind of like made for gaming. Everything before was kind of like Hotmail names, and we all have our share of random versions of that. But my Pink Pony 46, I think was one of them at the time. But
Pony 46.
yeah, as a horse girl, guys, I hate to admit, but when I was like 12 or 13, I was setting up my first Xbox Live gamer tag, and I could not think of anything to put together, so it was just Beans Space Rice. And I was Beans Rice for like the greater part of 6 years, and just was super into all these lobbies as Beans Rice. And it was good because, you kind of fly under the radar with that one. It's not immediate like girl. It's like, oh, this person's a fan of food.
Ooh, Beans Rice. I love that dude.
It's called Beans
Beans
for
Rice.
short. Like Beans from Even Stevens.
Yeah, and then I'd talk up and I'd be like, "Hey guys, we're doing great. Good job, everyone. Playing really well." And they're like, "What?" So I got my share of like digs on that one, but probably not too appropriate for the stream. Oh no, those were the good days. Yeah,
I feel like I like Beans Rice more.
A lot of racism came out of that one, but dark stuff comes out of the dark places of the early online lobbies. So
of course.
But then when I was starting to game more, I've had my fair share of WoW characters and things like that, but my Twitch username actually came from Minecraft. When I started playing it, it was just KittyPlays MC. It's not that exciting of a story, but my friends used to call me Kitty because it was Kristen K Kitty just for short. So Kitty was playing MC, so it felt very logical. Kitty Plays MC, and then when I was on Twitch, it was Kitty Plays Games. And when Twitch started offering, IRL and all like the fun stuff and the traveling and things like that, I was like, oh, drop the games. I'm Kitty Plays everything, Kitty Plays in the world. So
I love that. It's awesome. I'm kind of partial to the beans and rice.
Beans rice. Just beans rice.
Just beans rice, not beans and rice.
No,
yeah, of course.
Rice.
There's no conjunction there.
I was very adamant about that as a younger girl out there. It's like, no, sorry, beans rice.
I'm just imagining your whole career up to this point, but instead of Kitty Plays, it's beans rice.
Beans rice.
That's amazing.
I think I could have pulled it off.
I think you absolutely could have pulled that off.
I don't know what my branding would look like, but it would be fun. It would be a fun challenge.
You've seen Beans Rice? Oh yeah, she just went to like Jamaica. Crazy.
What if she ate beans rice in Jamaica? Yeah.
Good for Beans Rice.
And in Mexico and in Asia, it's great. Yeah.
Is that your most like embarrassing one? Like, do you have one that's like XOXO lover of Barbie or I don't know something? I don't know. There's always some
horse lover,
awful.
Girl.
Yeah.
Ponies. I had a lot of like the horse lover ones, like between age like 7 and 11, probably. But then I started using my own name and Beans Rice for everything. So
it came from there. Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
It's a great genesis of a name. I wish my name was that cool. I feel like I just like thought of my name one day and it just like there was no, I don't know. I mean, yours is also pretty basic as well. Kitty Plays, Kitty whatever, but that's also really, really good for branding. So many people we talk to are like, I regret my name. I really wish I didn't pick this name, but I'm so locked into it now that you can't change.
I know. Well, you can. I dropped the games. Okay, I'm just kidding. That wasn't really a big change for me. But I just did a podcast.
Who is this? I don't know who this is anymore.
I don't know, guys. There's a KittyPlays. What? Huh? What is she doing?
What?
She's playing games, but it's just KittyPlays. I don't get it.
Who's this imposter?
Exactly. No, it is hard to change. I had a podcast recently with Team Kitty, my team here on Twitch, and one of our whole episodes was all around branding and the importance of like reading your name out beforehand, like out loud, because you never know what kind of sounds come out. Can people pronounce it? And then typing it out. You want to look for every little word, because if there's just a sneaky ass in the middle of your name, like people are gonna find that. They're gonna find
Ask
it.
Ava.
They're gonna point it out.
Ask Ava, guys.
It's very true.
Watch out.
I actually had someone ask me today, or yesterday on stream, just like, hey, trying to grow on like, what do you have any tips? And their name was TTV_snipes4_TTV.
Yikes.
So I was like,
no, you're doing great.
I go, as soon as you get 15 followers, you're gonna be like, wow, I wish I didn't put TTV twice in my name. Twice. So I'm like, you could just probably get rid of it, maybe add something spicy to Snipes, and I don't know, just kind of something a little bit out the box. You'll probably be cool. You're probably good. I'm assuming you play FPS games. You see where I'm going here? You got to think through it. So like that was the first thing we went on a tangent about that for 30 minutes about names. But yeah, I mean, first of all, if anyone out there, if you're starting a Twitch stream or have a Twitch stream, you do not need TTV or Twitch in your Twitch name unless the word Twitch is part of your brand, like the actual like physical movement of twitching, if that's part of it. But if it's to tell people that you're on Twitch, we know because we're on Twitch and you're here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So what if you get an offer from Mixer? You're screwed.
Exactly. They're you're non-tender right there. You're not even gonna field it.
Well, that might be a big buying point for Mixer, though. Really put one over Twitch by getting that TTV removed from his name and adding Mixer in the spot. So
see, this is why we got Chris down here. She's just a marketing mind.
I gotta add value, guys.
She's constantly looking for like. I don't know. I think that could actually work out. I get a mill for that. Like I just somehow
never know.
You just add $500,000 onto the contract for changing your name. I got to change my name, guys. So it's gonna cost you.
Drop this TTV. It's gonna be big, boys. Sorry.
Kristen's like, no, leave it. Make more money.
Get more money.
Get more money.
I mean, kind of the name of the guy. Okay. Anyway, let's get a little curveball in there, like that little baseball pun. My thing that's most important to me in the whole wide world, and you are in California, right? Correct. So you have lots of options.
Oh, for what?
Fast food. Is the name of this game? This question, I guess.
Okay.
What is your favorite go-to? And so I posted a thing today on socials, and I've started to classify like value food as the fastest, like the Taco Bells and the Burger Kings of the world, and then like slightly above that are the Shake Shacks, Qdoba, like the walk-in, but it's still pretty fast food. So I'm expanding this. It can be anything in there, but a place that's kind of like people would know, and it's a chain, like that you like the most. Can be literally anything. I know that gamers love to get quick meals before they're about to go play a lot of games. That's usually what they connect it with, right? Growing up,
stereotype too, there, Trevor. But
a little bit. I'm just saying.
So
but
glad we invited her on this.
Episode 24 and 23 people before have all had one. So I'm saying there's probably a theme.
I'm not without, but I think it's a people thing. Okay, it's not a gamer.
I think people. It's not a gamer thing. I would agree with that. But it's part of the nostalgia for me for growing up gaming is fast food.
Of course. And I actually have two answers for you, Trevor. Ooh. All right. Okay.
Wonderful.
It's better. All relative to growing up and then right now. So growing up, I grew up in Canada. So my absolute favorite fast food was A&W, which I've come to know is like bottom of the barrel in America. I don't know what it is, but I went over there. I tried to get myself a teen burger and a root beer, my go-to. Yeah. It was awful. It was awful. I was crying. I had like tears in my eyes. I was like, how dare they? And it was it's so insane how it could just be so different between the two countries. And then obviously here, everyone goes for that In-N-Out, but like I raised you a Shake Shack. Okay. I don't know what it is. I love their burgers so much. They got the chicken ones. They're so great. The buffalo chicken. And then their mozzarella ones that they have with the, portobello mushroom. Have you guys had those?
I've
Phenomenal.
had
So if you're backing off, having meat that day and you want something instead, there, portobello mushroom, it's like stuffed with cheese and it's a burger patty. It's kind of insane.
Sounds outstanding. I'm really surprised that you didn't say, well, for one, I had an A&W close to me growing up, and we would go there as like a special treat. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. That's the first place I ever had cream soda, and I like lost my mind.
Oh yeah,
I know that cream soda even existed
too. Root beer floats.
Oh my gosh! I mean,
no one else has those.
Cream soda floats, dude. Cream soda is just the best soda on the planet. But as far as your second choice, also surprised it wasn't Tim Hortons.
Ooh,
really kind of felt like that was coming.
But that's Dunkin' and Starbucks for us.
I just feel like who doesn't? Isn't that like a national treasure?
You guys don't broadcast this in Canada, right? Because I might have my citizenship removed.
I
you can't really call yourself a Canadian and not love Tim Hortons.
Like you didn't even mention it. You weren't even like, and I sometimes will grab a coffee from Tim Hortons. Like nothing.
Just say Timbits like 3 times fast, and it'll confuse everybody, and they'll give up.
Like the Beetlejuice or something. Yeah. No, it's once they started adding it to United States, it wasn't so special anymore. Like I can go to Tim Hortons in Los Angeles and in New York, and I think Seattle too. There's a few places, and it's not iconically Canadian anymore. So,
I mean, I guess it's true.
Do you like poutine? This is important.
I love me some poutine.
Okay, good. I love it too. No, I love poutine so much. And whenever I say, "Hey, have you guys had gravy on fries?" They're like, "What?" Gravy. They look at me like I'm insane. But if you go to Whistler, BC, ever, because I don't know why anyone would go. Well, besides skiing, obviously, Whistler's awesome. No, Whistler, where they had the Winter Olympics. Like,
yeah.
No, they have the Whistle Championships there.
And it's some of the best skiing in the world. But I don't ski very much, but all the colleges in the Northwest would go up there for college weekend on like MLK, around MLK Day, and so like. It's because drinking is 19 and up too, so everyone in college can drink in Canada, right?
Come on in, guys.
Exactly. We went up there, but all of the late night food, all of the like kiosks and stuff in the walkway in the village there are all poutine places. So like it became, everyone's like, oh, when do you get that burger? 1 a.m, it just tastes that much better. It was poutine there, and I just you can put anything in it, like sausage or brisket or bacon or just
maple syrup. Have you tried that?
Yes, I have. I've had every poutine there is.
Why is that? It's so obvious, but I never thought of that.
I know.
Dinosaur Barbecue has the dino poutine. Have you had that, Paul?
What? No, what?
Yes, it's called dino poutine. It's an appetizer. Get it next time you go.
I live 4 minutes from Dinosaur. How do I know?
Now you have goals.
Well, it's because you probably just get your plate.
Before. No.
Not in quarantine.
No. I was wandering aimlessly through quarantine until I found this poutine.
I must have the dino.
I must try. Excuse me. I'll be back later. I'll see you guys.
Bye.
Do it in August when you can leave your house.
It's delicious.
Great.
Okay, that was a fry I had already.
Anyway.
Wow. Okay, that was pretty cool. That got me off guard.
I just had poutine waiting here the whole time.
I know. Wow, you really set me up for that one.
So, well, Kristen, too, you touched on this before with your name and kind of growing up Canadian. But what did you do before full-time streaming or content creation? What did you do before hosting and all of this? How did you kind of get started? Did you have like a job as a paper route or something?
Yeah, paper route. Yes.
I don't know.
What an example.
I was 9.
Molons, I don't know.
Before I started streaming.
Then when I was 11, I became a full-time content creator.
A very respectable job, Trevor. Adults do it all the time.
I remember going through the classifieds and like trying to get a route next to my house, but like whoever had it never gave it up. So I'd like cry to my mom and be like, Mom, I just want to deliver papers. They're not giving up their route.
Wait, either that was a highly specific scenario or that really happened.
Really happened.
That really happened?
Yes. Yeah. I don't know why I have a paper route story. All right. Hey, okay.
Shot in the dark.
I mean, I grew up playing games, but and I always told my mom and my parents that I wanted to get paid to play video games when they'd yell at me to go outside and go to parties and spend time with my real friends, not my raid groups that I was leading. But I went into university. I was a student, and I had a job at the time, and I was in a dual major for accounting and finance. And I actually dropped all my courses a week out from my LSAT. So my plan was to get my dual major, my law degree, and then go into executive management at a company.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but this path was so much more fun, guys. I would have graduated a year and a half ago and had no networks, no traveling, as apparently I really love, which I do. No traveling, no networks, and like the experience, like there's nothing, like there's no business experience quite like creating, your own brand or your own community or your own product. It's just, through the ringer.
That's wild. So you were that close. You would have graduated, you said, this past year?
Well, I would have graduated law a year and a half ago. So I've been streaming full time for 6 years now. I started December 18th, 2013 or something. So, yeah.
So you didn't complete those degrees then, or did you?
No.
Yes.
I'm like 8 credits off, and I'm like debating. I want to write to school and be like, "Hello, look at my portfolio. Can you give me honorary degree, please?"
I don't know if you caught it, but Paul,
happy, please.
Paul just goes, "Yes," when you said you didn't finish your degree, and I'm glad you didn't catch it. But
Not
it's because it's because no one here, like me and him, both have degrees, and we love it when we love it when our guest also doesn't have it.
Well,
and it makes us feel better.
I mean, there's this huge shift in our entire world happening right now, and I think it's really good to kind of show how it can be done differently. And I mean, all of us are examples of that, and showing people that you don't have to throw yourself into $100,000 in debt. Like, especially in America, your guys' tuition costs are so high.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, that's true.
It's crazy. And just to show that there's like different ways to do it. And if you can like dream it and figure it out, like chances are you're smart enough to make it happen.
I love it. It's very true. Yeah. It's like not necessary to do, especially when by the time you get out, I mean, I don't know the ratio or the percentage, but I would imagine that a large amount of people that graduate with a degree don't get a job with that degree. Like it's not even related.
That's at least what the media reports, but I think it also depends who you're looking at, who you're talking to. People who have degrees, I found, are very like adamant about like, this was great, like this was necessary for me leveraging that, but I also think that they could have made it either way, especially with even a free courseware. Sorry, I'm getting off topic, but there's so many different ways to learn now, and then so like you can prove yourself in the product or business or like skill set that you make.
That's true. That's why you're kind of seeking those honorary credits / degree, because like you feel like I've kind of done it, like I've done the thing in this class that I would have to take. Yeah. So kind of just have
you have real world experience in doing that. You should. You got that experience you would have gotten in the class.
I'll give you guys the update once I send the letter to my dean. Like look at my channel. He's like, look what I've done. No, okay, it would be a lot more I was gonna go into law here, Paul. Okay, it would be a lot better.
I'm not surprised the way you tore apart the TTV thing. I'm not surprised at all. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, this
we can leverage
IQ. Leverage it.
Smart.
That's amazing. Well, you also kind of touched on a little bit too, like briefly. I think we'll probably get into this a little bit later too, but you were leading raids at 9 and 10. What?
Okay. Not 9 or 10. I like that though. Yeah, I was a raid leader for a really long time actually. I got into WoW when I was 12, and I went from not being able to kill wolves in Teldrassil and having my dad to have to do it for me whenever I had to kill a dog, because they like cry like real dogs. Like, this is awful. Why are you making me play this? So he did it for me, which was nice of him. And then moving forward, I just got really into WoW. Like it's been brought up for me recently because my partner's been playing classic WoW, and he's like, come play with me. But I remember that grind, and I do not want to be a part of it. No, thank you. I don't know if you guys got into it at all. So
I quit.
I quit too. Yeah, we both quit.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. And yeah, it was just something that it was so fun for me to just bring people together. And I remember being in my first raid at the time. I was playing a paladin, I believe, and just like watching other people I was playing with. I was like, it's the coolest person in here is the raid leader. Wow. Like they're able to command like all these people, and not like with their actions, just with their voice. And it was, and then to lead them through strategy and to maintain morale. And, you know, there's so many things that go into it now that I'm realizing I'm like, whoa, those are, you know, qualities of great leader, Kristen. This is probably a good thing you learned those things. But it was so like interesting to me just as a science of it. And then also like with the community building involvement, like you had to run your guild too, which was a whole nother layer of stuff. But yeah, it was like 14, 15, 16 when I was raiding and leading things. But so when I came on the like Mumble server Ventrilo at the time, I was like, okay guys, like I have a pretty low voice for a girl, but like back in the day that was not the case. Okay guys, so we're gonna do the raid today. You know, Jacob didn't show up, so we're gonna have to get someone else in. And like I don't know what their reactions were like to it, because like the guys, you know, were in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and like I had some young girls in their 20s, and you know, they're all over the place. Like my dad was playing too, so yeah, they listened to me. It was fun.
They actually listened and they're like,
so cool.
Holy crap, that's awesome. That was actually a spot on, like childlike impression of a girl's voice.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
It's like a different person altogether. It's incredible.
It was past me, guys.
Oh my gosh.
She just came through.
You were the raid leader and the guild leader? You did both?
Yeah, I did both. Yeah. I was like really into it.
I wish that on no one. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, and none of my real life friends knew. 4 seconds, Paul.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. People were like, ask me, so when's raid day? And I was like, I can't handle this. And I just, absolutely not.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I got bounced from being the off tank, like after one raid. They're like, you're not even good enough to tank the mob, that one mob off the side. You can't even hold threat. So I was like, oh, well, I guess I'll just be a healer then.
Oh my gosh.
I'll go
you know, Nixia, you can't handle the whelps. Like,
you can't handle there's a lot of whelps.
There's a lot of whelps.
There is, and they're running all over the place. Warriors are hard. Okay, let's not get into it. All right.
I'm sorry.
I didn't just have to put on consecrate and then just fall asleep. Paladins. So anyway,
to get the train back on the rails a little bit, when did you decide to, like, at what point did you see your streaming content creation that you were starting with KittyPlays games and decide this is enough for me to go full time or live off of? Like, when did that happen?
I ran my projections, Paul. So
of course you did. Not surprised at all. Ran the numbers.
I ran the numbers. No, I was really like, I hate the word lucky. But I definitely, like, I spent my time studying streaming before I even started streaming. And I'd write notes. Like the moment that it was December, I was like writing my finals and I was taking a break from my final study to study streaming. And I was like, whoa, what's going on here? Like, I'm like avidly studying into the middle of the night, like these streams. And I can get into like how I did that, but it's NSFW, a lot of the sites I was watching, because they have the most interesting ways they market. Anyways,
highly interesting. Okay.
Breezing past that.
I want to.
Next. And so
see those
like, I recognize that there's like, wow, like my whole life force like wants to go into this. There's something here. And when I started streaming, like right away, I had a community that was like really excited about me because I was putting myself in games that there wasn't really any women playing them. Like Heroes of New Earth, and then I trickled into World of Warcraft, and then Counter-Strike. But yeah, and then I got rated by Swifty and Soda Poppin', I think 2 weeks into streaming, and like just, you know, went from getting like 30 viewers, which was great for starting out. Like I was really happy with that. And into, you know, getting like 300 on average, which, you know, at the time was great. And now it's so funny how the times have changed and how boosted all the viewers are. But after about a month of streaming, I ran the numbers and I called my dad, and I had dropped every single one of my courses. I was in the middle of Saskatoon, studying at the time. And I'm like, Dad, I dropped all my courses. I'm coming home to play video games in your basement. I know, it's a father's dream. Let's go. Woo!
And he was cool with it. He was
He
like,
was.
yeah, absolutely. You should definitely drop out of school for this unproven thing.
Yeah,
Sounds
I was his firstborn too. Like he wanted to just groom me into this like little super genius child. And so I think at first he was kind of frustrated, but you know, in his own life, he steered away from tech into a more traditional role because of his parents. And
Yeah.
I think that's something that he kind of regretted. So seeing that I had the opportunity to do that, it was exciting for him.
That's amazing. And what does your siblings think?
Oh, they love it. I mean, they've traveled around the world with me because of it. So I've like hired my sister multiple times. I've done a bunch of stuff for my brother. Like they absolutely love it. And I think the only thing they don't like is a lot of their friends are like, "Oh, so your sister's KittyPlays. Can I meet her? Can you introduce us?" So
Oh, yeah,
that's probably the annoying part. But no, they love it. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
I can't imagine that they would be upset to like travel with you. Like, yeah, I don't know. Seems like you made the wrong choice here.
Oh, no. I should
sure.
have a good time. We've been to some pretty incredible places around the world.
Gosh. Yeah. You went to Burning Man? Did I see that?
Yes. Yeah, I did. Do you know about that?
I know literally nothing about it other than it looks like Mad Max. That's all I know. I know nothing else about it.
That's kind of the thing, huh? Yeah. It's the feel. Maybe not everyone trying to kill each other, but probably it's the other way.
There's like this one camp where it's a dome where they hang people and they've got these like padded swords and like pull them back and then they let go and the people swing into each other and just hit each other and it's intense. Like whatever you're looking to find, I think you can find it at Burning Man. It's like your experience is what you make it. And like you can go to yoga classes and like sit with like monks all day and learn acro and hula hoop and drink matcha tea all day if you want, and you won't see anything else. Like it's crazy. Like you really recognize like what a reality bubble is, and like if what you're expecting to see, you're gonna see, and it's pretty cool.
How long is it? How long does that last?
So I was there for 2 weeks, but the actual burn is for 7 days, I believe. Some people only go for 4, but my partner, he's run Burning Man camps for a while now. This was his 11th year. So I went down with him early when there's absolutely nothing, and we set up camp for, I think 68 people stayed with us. So keeping 68 people alive and fed and healthy, and then the burn happened, and then there's a week of that, and then for a few days after that, we just packed everything up and cleaned all the moop, which is matter out of place, which you guys need to know about if you go to Burning Man. But
moop, got it. That was locked away in the brain. Yes, I'll never forget that.
That sounds like I wouldn't want to clean that up. It sounds like the last thing I'd want to clean is moop.
I mean, it could be a bicycle. It could be a bicycle. Just bring it home. Don't leave it there.
Is the bicycle covered in moop? Or it's just...
You never know.
Okay.
So it's a really special experience. But you go through like the whole spectrum of human experience there. It's wild.
Dang.
Yeah.
Cool.
Goodness.
Oh, and I think I think Burning Man actually makes another appearance in a later segment here on the show. But yeah, I knew that. I did my research. But you mentioned about getting that raid 2 weeks into streaming and when things were kind of new and getting into games that you didn't see a lot of women streaming or even playing. I'm sure it was pretty rare running into another lady in a game. So so I think this is something that a lot of people have different answers for. But what's the main thing that you wish you would have known going to stream that like you want to going into streaming that you would want to tell people who are getting into it, like something to expect that they're probably not thinking about right now, and it's something you only experience when you start.
Ooh.
Yeah. Hard hitting ones here.
I like it. That's a great question. I think the biggest advice that I give to people is just to recognize like the biggest blessing and the biggest curse of streaming, in my opinion, which is you can stream as much as you want or as little as you want. And in traditional society, we don't really have the ability to just like work as much as we want and like really see results from that. A lot of people are still locked in the 9 to 5, where when it's 5 o'clock and you get to go home, you can only do so much, be so much, like you're clocked out, you're done, go to bed. But with streaming, like for the first time, the more you stream, the more you're rewarded for it. And there's like this hamster wheel that gets created around the idea that you lose momentum if you take a break, etc. And so you're like, wow, this is so fun. I can do this as much as I want. Woo! And like, oh, I can take breaks, but I don't want to take breaks. This is fun. I'm getting like so much feedback, from my chat. Now I have a community that sees me and loves me and recognizes me. I want to be there for them all the time. And then ultimately that can lead to huge, I'm sure like you guys have all experienced this, but like huge depletion, huge breakdowns. Just like, and a lot of people just end up dissociating. And I think you could see that in a lot of streamers you watch, where it's just like, this is just, they just play. So yeah, I think it was just recognizing that when you're starting to fall into that, take a step back. And I know that we're going to lead into that question because I just looked over at the thing, but make sure to get outside. And take some time away and take time for yourself, because ultimately when you're working on your craft or at your craft constantly, you're not going to be getting any new inspiration or new good ideas or being able to change the meta when you're that close to the things that you're doing. So it's important to take those breaks and take care of yourself and come back with good stories for your viewers and good event ideas and fun new stuff to add to this platform to help you stand out.
Awesome.
Wow. That is a phenomenal answer, and very, 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 very relevant to, like you said, to something else we're gonna hit on later in the show. But that was great. It's something that I personally wanted advice on to begin to be honest, and and you reinforced something that I had a conclusion that I was already starting to come to, because without the season, like I my first reaction was, well, now I get to stream a lot. Right. Yeah.
And as much as I want.
I want. Of course, I'm married, and my wife is also in the house with me all day, and so I don't want to be like, oh, I'm sorry, babe, I'm streaming till 11 p.m. tonight. I'll see you when we go to bed. That's not any way to live your life. Exactly.
And sometimes it'll be 11 o'clock, and you got a raid.
Oh my gosh!
Now I gotta stay online. Oh, sorry, my dog's hungry.
The dog's totally fine.
Excited too, man.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Sense.
I did say to invite her on the show, so she's here.
There she is.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. But
it's true. Like the first week of quarantine, I burned myself out. I was like, after 1 week, I was like, that was a mistake.
Yeah,
I should not have done that.
Yeah,
like I just streamed for like 10 hours, 9 hours every single stream. I was like, this is awful. It's not good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I think that happened to you with streaming, but honestly, I think that's such a mirror to every other industry and every other person. Like for the first time in a lot of people's lives, they've really allowed themselves to be unbridled and like what they think that they've been craving or limited by with the quarantine. And then they're getting kind of a taste of their own medicine, being like, oh wait, there is too much. There's like, a reason why there's like, we kind of limit ourselves in life, whether it's like the drinking or the gaming or the streaming or the TV binging. But everyone had that call like, oh, well, if only I had more time to dedicate to this. And it's like, well, here it is. Let's see what you do.
Exactly. I remember when there's been like a bajillion memes for the quarantine. Like one of my favorites that just was like very relevant was just like, so I've been planning on cleaning my house when I had more time. And turns out I have more time. And that wasn't the reason I wasn't cleaning my house. Like not at all the reason. Like we like make excuses of like, oh, I don't have time to do that, but you really just don't want to do it. This is like what it comes down to. It feels like,
yeah.
Anyway. When you have all the time in the world, you tend to do the things that you really like to do, and for loves, that's nothing or not nothing. We're always doing something. It's just maybe not something that is the best for us or our productivity or our goals long term. Yeah, usually that's That's what we're not doing.
Well, my fix to that is like to literally just let myself do whatever I want when I want it. Like, granted, I'm in a position of privilege to do that with my abundance, but like really just letting myself, you want to eat all that cookie dough ice cream, Kristen? Eat all the cookie dough ice cream. You want to sleep until noon? Sleep until noon. You want to stream all day, and like letting yourself like go and do as much as you want. Like, I think it gets it out of your system rather than like just letting it out a little bit every so often. And it actually ends up making me have a lot healthier habits. Like, you'd think that you'd want to just lay in bed and watch anime all day for weeks. But if you actually let yourself lay in bed and watch anime all day, like you get to day 6, you're like, oh shit, I kind of feel like doing something today. And then you get up and you do something. And then, you never really have that same sort of like deep kind of craving or like limitation in your mind.
Exactly. So. If you love those Starburst jelly beans, but you want to stop buying them, just eat the entire bag in one night, and then you'll never want to eat them again.
Yeah. Isn't that what like all parents do to their kids? Like they just I think even
something. Darn it.
Tim told me once. Quick story time for Tim. When he was in high school, he got in trouble because he spray painted the words Pink Floyd all over the inside of his garage. Like he just spray painted it everywhere because someone told him to do it.
That's so
Tim
stupid.
was incredibly influential. Like, what is that word? Not influential. The opposite of that. Very heavily influenced.
Easily influenced.
Easily influenced. And so he just did it because someone told him to. And his dad was like, "What the hell is wrong with you? Like, why would you do that?" And he's like, "I don't know." And then for the rest of the year, this was like I started in like September. Rest of the year, whenever they got in the car, he would put in a Pink Floyd disc and make him listen to the same songs over and over and over and over and over again until he hated Pink Floyd. I mean, that was a method of that's just what I think of.
Poor Pink Floyd. It's great music.
Great
music.
Great music.
Don't think Tim's a fan
that's hilarious. But like, no, I think that's going heavy on it because it's like discipline. But it definitely, there's something to it.
Might have gone a little too far. Sorry. That's my bad.
Yeah, I get it. I get you what you were going for. Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah. So Kristen, as well, I'm really hoping I want to know. I really want to know what this one is, and I'm hoping I know the answer to it. But what is your absolute favorite game to play? I'm going to say, I feel like we never do like all time. I do want to know all time, but I also want to know. I also want to know like right now, like what are you into right now? But what's your favorite game to like make content with when you're streaming?
Okay, this is a great question. My favorite game to like play right now has been Valorant. Although I don't think it's a great game to play for content creation. But the reason why I'm so into it right now, Paul, is because I love a challenge. Like I love getting like so beaten down by a game that I feel like crying and like I don't know what it is in me, I'm just like I feel like garbage. I am like the worst person in the world. And you just feel awful. And then I love coming out of that and being like, okay, today I feel a little bit less awful. Okay, it's the progress, a little less awful, a little less awful. And then when you actually start like fragging and doing a good job, it's like, there's something about it. It's just so satisfying. This happened to me with Counter-Strike. This happened to me with Fortnite. And like, this is happening to me with Valorant now. Like Valorant has the same sting that Counter-Strike does, where you just turn around a corner and you get headshotted and you're like, I know I could have slowed that down and played that out, but I was a dumb bee and I went too quick. I recognized my mistake and I still made it. I got to go back and do that again. Like, glutton for punishment. It's like something about it. And I know there's a psychology word for that, but I'm probably not going to use it on your guys' channel.
Please educate the listeners.
I'm just gonna add that one in later, but no, it's something about it. So I feel the same way with Valorant right now. And I think it's great for creating like Twitch content, live content. But like so far, I haven't really enjoyed watching other people play it unless I'm watching the pros. I think it's gonna be one of those games when there's like a silver rank, like in Counter-Strike. It's gonna be hilarious to watch squads like the crew run around and like act the hooligans and like come up with crazy strats and the roundabout, cinnamon swirl, backwards, upside down. Like that's gonna be great content.
Sounds delicious.
The pros are going to be great content. But in terms of great content of the past, like Fortnite to me was so fun. Like you have the dances, you have the skins, you can play it in a lot of different ways. You can, match up with randoms and chat with them. Like that's always my favorite. It's just trolling children. Oops.
But this is what it is. I mean, it's just the truth is what it is.
You told me to be honest, okay?
My favorite is trolling young children.
But no, it leads to really sweet content and like, really sweet moments too. Like I've had a lot of really beautiful stuff come out of that. And it's good because you're, one-on-one if you're doing duos or in a cool, funny squad where they're all battering with each other. So, no, I think the Fortnite for me was great for making content. And then Valorant right now is just really good for my late night, no pants, hoodie on, gaming session. Yeah. Does anyone else agree?
Valorant.
I mean, so I understand, like I can conceptually understand all the things you're saying. Personally, if I round a corner and I get headshot in Valorant for like the 9th time for the same guy, I'm kind of done. Yeah. I'm just going to walk away from that game for like a week and then come back later. Maybe.
Yeah. It's,
I don't enjoy the punishment. I'm like, oh gosh, like I get in bed at night and I'm like, God, that beating was so good. I'm so glad I went 0-19. Like that was great.
It was
like
so fun in front of my friends too, and on live stream in front of my whole community. I loved it so much.
I really hope a new person came to my chat and was like, wow, this guy's really angry and then never comes back. That was like my favorite.
Yeah. I love deterring all my community with my rage. It's great.
It was so good. Like Valorant is great for that, but that's why like personally I think a game like Escape from Tarkov doesn't like lend to that as much. Like there's highs and lows within an entire gaming session where I feel like if you start to downward trend with Valorant, it's hard to get back up.
Well, yeah, it's the same. You remember we talked about with Call of Duty in multiplayer. Remember we'd play, but then you could just run and die like 12 straight times.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's just so fast. You're getting that feeling, that bad feeling so quickly. But in Tarkov, you die, and then you literally have like 15 minutes before you might be in that situation again, and you can calm down.
Exactly.
And so you can continue to go back, and that's why it's more fun. And I think that's why Call of Duty gets me. And to be honest, why Valorant? I tried playing off stream. So I'm the same way, Kristen. Like seriously, I'm okay, let's get. I'm just hyper competitive. Like how do I approach baseball? I want to get better every day and try to get better. Getting better and seeing the process and getting feedback is the same. I love that. But then so I'm trying to take competitive games more serious, but then I'm realizing I just don't have time to keep up with the people that I play with. It's not it's not the general population as much as the people that I enjoy playing games with. They're just they play more than me and they're just better. And I need to be okay with that.
Well, the skill disparity is so much more noticeable in a game like Valorant too, where it's like Fortnite, you can bop around and get carried for a while, but like if you're not holding B-site down and they're continuing having to rotate every single round, and you're just like, sorry.
Sorry, you're only so funny to where they'll keep you around. You know what I mean? They're like, all right, well, maybe we'll get the guy who's silent and actually does his job. That'd be great.
You're the guy that buys the op like every chance he has money. It's like, guy, just buy the AK. Just stop
out for a second.
Just use the rifle.
Probably not going to hit anybody with that. So.
You're not going to.
But I appreciate you giving it to me every time.
That disparity, you guys. Yeah, that totally is totally true. And I think that's like kind of sad I think that's where Fortnite really had it locked down, or like Modern Warfare 2, where you can play it like silly, have those fun clips, and then also like play seriously and show like the levels of skill you have. But hidden
MMR though, that's what happened in a couple games, and it just became a little bit less fun for the people that like to do that all the time, right? Just joke around all the time. And that's what Valorant is. It's a competitive game. It's a great game. It is a really good game. Really well designed. They've put a lot of thought into it. It looks good. It runs really well. The servers are great. There's no hacking yet. I mean, eventually there will be at some point. Every game does, but it's actually competitive. But it's just going to be a competitive game like Counter-Strike. It's just going to be more competitive. Yeah. It's just the way it's going to be. It's going to be hard to just goof around. And
you can't fix all problems for all games. Like if you're going to not have hidden MMR, then you're going to have Smurfs. And like you can't.
Exactly. It's either
competitive or an issue for another.
On CS:GO is so fun.
Smart, dude. Anything, what is it like? Nova or below is the funnest CS:GO experience.
Bang bang bang.
Oh my goodness!
And then you get to talk in the chat afterward. They're like, "Whoa, Beans Rice popped off," and then you go, "Hey guys, hey guys, good game, everybody! Oh, she's a girl! Oh
no! I was on my way up, and now I'm on my way back down."
She's the girl.
But it's nice too because you come around a corner and then they miss. So you get a chance to like whip on them instead of just getting deleted.
Yeah,
because you didn't check one of their 19 corners. Exactly.
God, see that makes me kind of miss CS:GO more in a way.
I've been playing lately and loving it. So,
have you really been playing CS:GO?
Yeah, I hadn't logged on in like 2 years. I've got like 3,000 hours on that game. Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, I haven't looked. I wonder what mine is. God, it's probably a million. So you didn't answer the original one though, which I was really hoping to hear. But what is your favorite of all time?
Oh, of all time!
Of all time.
Wow.
And why is it Animal Crossing?
Oh, I've only played the app game. I actually haven't been playing the other one lately. Wow. I don't have a Switch, and I can't get one because they're all sold out. Anyways,
they're all sold out everywhere.
It's crazy. Way. The general population likes to game now, Paul. Okay, times are changing.
That's cool now, dude. 2020, welcome.
They don't deserve them.
I think it's probably like a Super Mario Sunshine on GameCube. Or like an SSX Tricky on GameCube.
No way.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then what was the other one? There was like this one Xbox version of Mario Party. I can't remember the name right now, but they had like all these mini games that were in this tournament, and it was like Twisted System and Sumo, and you played it. And I think it came with the Xbox Fusion Frenzy. That's what it was. So
Fusion Frenzy.
Holy crap! I'm googling that right now. I haven't heard that in forever.
Yeah, so SSX Tricky, Super Mario Sunshine is like a playthrough that was so fun. SSX Tricky was so good with friends. The music was like awesome. Like I still, when I hear that song, I'm like Uber Trick, yes. And then Fusion Frenzy was just so great with friends. So
holy crap! I forgot this game existed.
Do like if we can find Fusion Frenzy multiplayer and like do a stream of it, I think that'd be hilarious. But
that would be incredible. God, I forgot about the game. That brings all the memories. Wow.
That day we did 8-man pummel party was pretty much the funniest day of gaming I've ever seen. So,
that's cool, dude. That sounds like it was fun for you to do.
Hi.
Oh, yikes!
I was
moving on.
No, I'm surprised one of those games isn't. Wow, Kristen, you just said you raid leaded, you guild leaded, and you're like, it's okay.
That was like a job, man. Like it felt like a job. Like it was that like groomed me like to be a person. I feel like I'm so good with map awareness now. Like I can efficiently do tasks. I'm great at quests. Like I think that really developed me as a human being, but it definitely felt more like work than anything. Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever heard WoW groomed me as like a person.
Dude, I played that game for like 10 years straight. Yeah, 12 till 22. I was playing a lot.
I respect the heck out of that.
Yeah.
How many days played you got in your characters though? That's probably
I gotta
incredible.
Go through and add it together. Yeah.
What was your favorite class? Well, you said Paladin, but was that your like go-to favorite?
At the end, it was a Shadow Priest. I really loved playing Shadow Priest. Yeah, she was so fun. Like all her different spells and timing, and she was great.
Love that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we are now in ad time.
Paul's favorite ad in the whole world. Here we go.
Ad. Very excited about it. Again, guys, support for the May Contain Action podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. As my lovely co-host Trevor said, the best in below the belt grooming, and they are the best of those family jewels. That's why Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer with 18 months in the lab perfecting their Lawnmower 3.0. Third generation trimmer features cutting edge ceramic blade to prevent any manscaping accidents. Millions of balls are about to get nick free thanks to Manscaped's advanced skin safe technology. One of the coolest features is the LED light, which illuminates the grooming area for precise trim. They've also upgraded to a 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology. That means it's quiet. No waking anyone up when you're trimming those jewels. And let's not forget about the charging stand. Show it off, dude. Someone comes to that bathroom and they say, look at that. Is that Manscaped? You say, yeah, it is. Bought it yesterday. What'd you buy it with? Code MCA, the Make It Date Action Podcast. Get 20% off and free shipping with code MCA at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with code MCA at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you.
Incredible.
Thank you.
Incredible, dude. Absolutely incredible.
I think I might have to get one because I tried to cut my man's hair with his pube trimmer and it did not turn out very well. But with all of those features involved in the Manscaped trimmer, I think I probably could have pulled it off.
Yeah, you probably could have. Ceramic blades.
I feel like I didn't get all the parts of that story all at once. What happened? There's a trimmer. You mentioned your partner. I heard hair and pubes. I don't know.
Quarantine. Long hair.
Head hair.
Needed a trim up. We made a video where I cut his hair with his pube trimmer.
His head did. Got his
on his head. On the top of his body.
Got it. Okay.
It turned out okay, but I think it really would have turned out better with that Manscaped trimmer. So
sure would have.
They stay sharper longer. They're ceramic. I'm not kidding. I watched the video and it's like, hey, the guy's like trying to cut his like arm with it. He's like, I can't do it. You really can't. It's really hard. I was like, wow, this is not cutting me. This is incredible. Wow.
Also, does he only have one?
They say it does.
Does he only have one trimmer in the whole house?
Only one trimmer.
Kristen?
Only one trimmer.
Yeah, just one.
Wow.
Bro, by the way, just like switches, all haircutting equipment on Amazon is also sold out. So
no way.
If you want to just buy some clippers, those are gone too.
My Lanta. I can't wait for the blog of like quarantine haircuts. I'm really looking forward to scrolling through that. If that Instagram doesn't exist yet, someone should make it and sell ads.
That's actually, you know what, Kristen, you cannot turn off the marketing. I need you just to take a break for a minute.
Just tell us off the pod and then we'll do it.
No idea, Paul. It's like I can silver line any situation and I can market any situation. This grows. It's disgusting. I'm trying to get out of it. Okay, I gotta meditate more.
I think it's great. I think it's been great for you up to this point. Just keep going.
I'll keep it going. Yeah, it's working out.
That's incredible.
Well, thank you for that wonderful ad, Paul.
Amazing.
You're born for it. I think that's the perfect ad for you. So this is we've kind of touched on this a little bit before. I may tailor the question a little bit, but this is kind of for everybody. And so I talked about it a little bit earlier. I noticed in the last 3-4 days, as I was putting together this outline for the show, that burnout has become a thing for me. First of all, because there's just like everyone wants to know we have no sports. So like being someone who plays sports for a living, everyone wants to know what you're doing right now. And I have the stream and have had the stream for a long time now. And so that's become a topic that a lot of people want to ask me about. And I didn't know it was this many people and many different places. And I have a natural propensity to say yes a lot and just be like, anytime I'm talking about stuff that's good.
You're a yes man.
I'm a yes man. And that is not a great strategy right now because I have no energy to do any of it instead of just doing the things that I like. So like I've gone into that mode where, okay, I need to make a change here and I'm trying to figure out like how I can change my mindset a little bit to, give myself a little more time or at least the things still doing a lot of stuff because I like to do a lot of stuff. I really do. I'm passionate.
You feel like you're stretched thin.
Yes, but I want to focus on the things that I really do like, and then get rid of as much stuff. And I'm like, nah, I'm not interested in that, and actually being okay with that. So my question is for you two is once you notice you're burning out, like you're like, oh my gosh, I have like no energy, and this is what burnout feels like. Where is your, because I'm sure you both felt it, and Kristen, you talked about it a little bit earlier too. What's a strategy you have for like just getting to, okay, this is the change I make and this is going to help a lot?
Yeah. So I went through like the first 3 years of streaming doing 8 to 12 hours a day. It was like crazy. Every single day, all the time, I was live. If I wasn't live, I was editing my YouTube videos and uploading them and posting on social media, blah, blah, blah. And that was just crazy. And so every 3 months, I would just like hit a wall where it's like I'd cry uncontrollably. I would like not really leave my bed. Like my family's like, well, you know, it might have been a funny laugh. I mean, a funny cry. You never know. Yeah. I could have a funny cry. But my solution to that, which, you know, I was pretty abundant at the time, and I would just check myself into this hotel spa that was like 45 minutes away from my city, and it's called the Sparkling Hill. It's the Swarovski Crystal Spa in like the middle of the mountains, and I would go. I'd get a massage. I'd turn all of my electronic. I wouldn't bring anything. I would just bring like my credit card to pay for stuff, and then go. I'd get a massage. I'd unplug, and I'd bring a journal and a pen. And like for at least 24 hours, and I would try and do 2 nights, so I'd have 1 full day there just to absolutely unplug. And then I'd come back, you know, that day 3, like ride crazy, ready to just get into it and get into stream, like back into it. Yeah. And it was so crazy how quickly like your body realigns and like comes back to like feeling okay. But like ultimately that was like a part of a deeper seated problem, which I fixed later by doing my 3-week working, 1 week traveling, which is probably when you guys noticed I was traveling so much. Yeah. And it's just, everyone's different, but like making sure that you kind of like separate work and space, which I think both of you already do with the offices. Making sure that your office isn't in your bedroom is huge. Oh, yeah. Like keep your bedrooms for sleeping, keep it separate. And then like the other thing, which, you know, being in quarantine makes it a little bit harder, is just getting out into nature, you know, like just going for a walk. Don't bring your phone, like go find a little trail near you or go lay in a park and just like breathe. That's about it. Like it so quickly like recharges you. Nature's amazing.
It's true. Yeah. I even just going on walks around our neighborhood when we can, just like getting out and just going around the block, coming back. Like it's that just being outside, period, walking around. I mean, I'm not the CDC. I'm not recommending you go outside or do anything in particular. I'm just saying in general, I've noticed during this quarantine.
Abide by social distancing.
Of course. Yes. Yeah. You know, and like it's helpful. I live thankfully in a fairly small town village, I guess. So there's not that many people out. But walking around, just kind of being outside. It's funny the amount of sounds I've even heard. This is kind of random, but just sounds from like different birds or like just different noises I've heard have reminded me of childhood and almost given me like a kind of a peaceful refresh. You know, like, oh, I remember hearing that bird when I was like a kid, and like that's really cool. And it just kind of, I don't know, energizes me or refreshes me. It's nice. Yeah,
it's true. Your brain doesn't have to think about the 3 topics it's been thinking about for weeks. You know what I mean? It's thinking about other topics, and you're like interested in it.
Yeah.
Love that.
Absolutely.
So Kristen, you traveling also obviously fulfills you. You really enjoy traveling. That's something that you do for yourself. And I think that the 3 week of work, 1 week traveling, phenomenal idea. And anyone who loves to travel, I mean, you should do that if you can. That sounds great. Weird. So for me, and something that I actually today before the show, I had a really interesting call with someone I'd never met before, kind of a chance encounter, getting connected with them, and they were talking about how they used to do tons of streaming and stuff. They, you know, were an ex-pro Call of Duty player, and then they got into the business side of things with the things that they were really interested in, and then at some point they made the decision like, you know what, I want to spend more time like pursuing these things and learning this stuff and not being in front of a camera all the time.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And he's like, and that changed a lot of things for me. And the burnout was actually because I was like forcing myself to do something that I didn't need to be forcing myself to do. So it's almost like I always have checklists in my head. So being able to like shave things off, like consciously shave things off, that's a release for me in a big way. Like I'm like, wow, that feels really, because I'm a box checker. I like to check off my list, and when I can remove things from it without having to actually do it, that gives me the same feeling of release. And obviously physically getting outside and being able to think about something else, that helps me as well. But that helps me realize I'll be like taking a long shower, or like just kind of just laying down on bed just for a little bit, and then it'll pop in my head. I'm like, I don't need to be doing this thing. Like I'm not interested in it. I don't know why I do it, and I don't need to do it. Instead of adding it to the list just because it's been part of the list for a long time, because that's how I function, I can just remove it. And when I do that, like, that becomes my like distressor. And that sounds weird and super nerdy now that I'm saying it out loud. But sometimes you gotta do an audit. You just gotta realize, okay, you don't need to do X, Y, and Z, and you can just do like these 2 things instead of these 5 things, and you'll be just as fulfilled and do things that you like to do. I think it always comes back to that.
That makes
do what you
sense.
want. Do what you want.
Do what you want.
Yeah. There's a lot of, I think, freedom that comes in saying no as well. Like, even if it's, and this is just my own philosophy as well, is like, if you're overwhelmed, and even if you get brought an idea or an offer that's like really good, or you do like it, it's not great, but it's like, it's good. It's okay to, I don't know. I feel like it's okay to say no. Like, I'm overwhelmed as it is. Adding one more thing would be too much.
You have to find that point. Yeah, for sure. And being okay with it.
Fine.
Have you guys read any Tim Ferriss?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Tim's my boy. Love that guy.
Tim's my boy.
Yeah.
Tim sounds familiar. I've not read Tim Ferriss. No.
Oh, you should check out his books. His 4-Hour Body is good. His 4-Hour Work Week is good. I mean, he has, Tools of Titans is also really interesting. He just asks the same questions to a bunch of really awesome, unique people around the world. Yeah. And so a lot of the stuff that he talks about, I think, like contributes to what we're doing. And one of the biggest things for me, if we're just talking about like productivity, is just only having 3 tasks a day. And so the night before, the morning of, I'll write down the 3 things that I absolutely have to do that day. And then after that, everything else is a bonus.
Extra.
Because it's like we're so obsessed as a North American culture around like the busy beingness of working and showing that we're busy and showing that we're doing a lot. And I just let go of that so much the last 2 years that I just honestly just do what I love all the time. And I have more energy than ever. And I think more creatively and more strategically to make that happen. And, I think in those ways you can benefit the world more by doing some new things rather than just repeating what we know hasn't worked for, people older than us for a long time. So,
yeah. Tim Ferriss, that was a great, I got to get back on that. Now you talked about it. I loved him. Actually, to be honest, he's a big
Tools of Titans is fun.
Oh, Tools of Titans is awesome. And I think Terry Crews is in there, Paul. And he talks about his stuff and The Rock. And Terry. So Tim does a podcast too that does, honestly, it's more broad than this one, but like it's actually a big inspiration for kind of why I wanted to do this. And like he kind of does, he does everybody. Yeah. So his show's phenomenal, and he meets and learns a lot about people from all kinds of walks of life and all kinds of different experiences, and you get so much brand new ways of thinking from all these people. Literally every single episode is like a completely different way of thinking about things. It's really, really great stuff. So Tim, and then he's like I would call him like an efficiency guru. So he's written books about like how to, if you're a person who's not a bodybuilder, but how to effectively work out and how to effectively be like build a brand, or you know, those are things that he like does. He just does tons of research,
minimum effective dose.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's my core function in my computer program.
There you go. Exactly. So he's he's great. That's awesome. That's a really good guy to content to consume for sure, if you're into that kind of stuff. And it definitely helps with this specific
even just subject. The practical 3 things to get done in a day. Like I like very practical things. Like, all right, like ways of thinking are great, but extrapolating them down to like actual day-to-day, like how can I implement this? And just
actionable things that are actionable.
Actionable.
Right?
Like, okay, 3 things, like 3 tasks get done today. And actually, in retrospect, thinking about just quarantine and the things I've set for myself to get done, typically it's like 3 to 4 things. It's never like, I don't have like 10 items I need to get done I don't know. Maybe that's subconscious, but it's good to hear it reinforced by someone who seems like they know what they're talking about. So,
yeah,
it works.
No, you're hitting it. Yeah, it does work. It really does work. And then you find yourself doing the extra stuff that you like. Like you get your three things done. You're like, oh, I have extra time, and then you pick the things that you like to do that are fulfilling.
And then that recharges you from burning
and it recharges
out.
you. Yeah, there you go. And then you never burn out because you're.
And you never burn.
Oh, well, on the times when you're like, I don't want to do less, you just do the three things, and then you're good.
Yeah.
So then, see, it's just if you make it extra instead of having to do it, it makes it more worthwhile. Cool. Thank you. That was phenomenal. Now we can get into something a little more frivolous. The game, this week's game. And Paul, you get the week off. No initials this week.
Woo! Thank God.
We're playing the classic which is better game. I'm going to give you two options, Kristen. You tell us which one you like better, and it's going to be bang, bang, like really fast. Rapid fire. That's that. I said bang, bang. Yeah. That was, rapid fire is what I meant.
Bang, bang.
Okay, yeah, so rapid fire. Okay. And without further ado, here we go. The which is better game. Are you ready, Kristen?
Yes.
Number 1, Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox.
Shake Shack or In-N-Out? You already answered this, but we're going to ask it again.
Shake Shack.
Of course.
Correct. Fortnite or Warzone?
Oh, Warzone right now.
Ooh, okay. All right. AIM or MSN Messenger?
MSN.
What?
Ooh, our first MSN!
Canadians, man. It's crazy. Love it.
Toilet paper over the top or underneath?
Over the top. Everyone else
Thank God.
knows.
Good.
God.
Not a serial killer, everybody. We're good. Tacos or burgers?
Burgers.
Milk first or cereal first?
Cereal first. Always.
That's psychopath. That was close. That's the psychopath.
See, there's two in here to determine, 100%. And you're good. You passed both of them. Zoomers or boomers?
Oh, both have their own value, but yeah.
Yeah, it's boomers. We know. Inception or Interstellar?
Inception, only because I've only watched Interstellar over the shoulder of someone on a plane. So I actually don't know any of the audio. I just
because it's better.
Oh wow, you need so you need to watch it because it has one of
necessary.
No, but hey, let me just they're both scored by Hans Zimmer, so both movies have the same guy that does their music.
I didn't realize that music was the thing that defined a movie.
In Interstellar, the music's phenomenal.
When it's
it's absolutely phenomenal.
So they threw the script out the window because this score is incredible. Hans Zimmer.
Matthew McConaughey is a national treasure. Okay, moving on. Transformers or Star Wars? This is for Courage.
Oh, Star Wars.
Obviously.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Courage is still the only one to get that one wrong.
Well, wait, Transformers has a great music track too, right?
It does.
I
you know what? Shia LaBeouf got a soft spot. He's funny. It was a good
for
show.
Shia, of course.
There was probably three too many movies made. MySpace or Facebook?
Facebook.
Interesting.
I wasn't on my only because I was so young.
Yeah.
Oh sure, yeah, makes sense.
And MySpace went out of vogue.
MySpace was definitely cooler. You guys had all the different features to it. But I was actually on Nexopia. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but
I don't. Is that Canadian?
OG stuff. Nexopia.
Okay.
Wait, how old are you now, Kristen?
I'm 28.
28. Okay.
Yeah.
Not that much different. You feel like you would have had access to MySpace.
Maybe there was just a delay in Canada.
Oh, that's actually fair. That's a good point.
Canadian delay.
Canadian delay.
Takes a while to get over the border. Twitter or Instagram?
Instagram.
Nice. TikTok or Vine?
Twitter. TikTok. Yeah.
Okay. Team Edward or Team Jacob?
Oh, neither.
Nice.
Good. Phenomenal. Nice. I'm Team Jacob, but it's fine. It's cool. You're right. I shouldn't have put it in here. Soft spot.
Those dark eyebrows that get you every time.
Yeah. Mouse and keyboard or controller?
Mouse and keyboard.
Would you rather watch a movie or a TV series?
Oh, it's TV series. Movies are so long.
Yeah, very long. We need breaks.
I'd rather binge for 8 hours than commit to a 2-hour
Movies are so long. I want to binge for 8 hours.
It's really weird. Like, I understand it rationally, but like, okay.
But you have 8 opportunities to stop. Like that.
Exactly.
I think that's the big way. Yeah.
If movie
you can't stop. You can't stop the
Yeah.
movie halfway through. All right, last one and the most important one. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Yes. Always.
And she lost it at the last
thing.
She tripped at the finish line.
And that concludes the game. We
Tragic.
learned so much right there in 2 minutes.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
See, Justin, fear itself. That's how you do it right there.
Serial killer, or like, where do I?
No. Both the serial killer ones you passed. You're not a
right.
serial- we know that for
Right.
sure.
You're tiptoeing
That
on
is-
sociopath, but you haven't quite gone over to serial killer. Yes, you're fine.
Right.
You're fine.
Awesome.
Yeah. The questions were, those answers were all over the place. I feel like I anticipate like 4 of those. I was like all in on on Inception. Then you threw me with Facebook, and I was like, what is happening?
Who is she? I thought we knew each other after this nice hour together.
I have no idea. So, Kristen, the last segment is just something we like to do for some other content creators out there.
Cool.
Maybe someone that you've been watching or listening to, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, apparently, Twitch, or anywhere else. I'll start and just kind of give a shout out to a smaller streamer, or just any content creator. Doesn't have to be small or big. I've shouted out Jordan Fisher like 3 times. Wolves at My Door. Wolves at My Door is a buddy of mine. He's a Twitch content creator. He also does YouTube as well. He does a lot of Binding of Isaac gameplay. He's all in on Animal Crossing right now. Like, it feels like all of Twitch is.
Yeah.
So he just makes really awesome content. He's a very chill guy. He makes some of the best merch. Like, he's a very, like, specifically, his merch is outstanding. He's a design guy, and his designs are outstanding. He does limited runs probably every couple months. But so that's Wolves at My Door on Twitch, WOLVES at My Door on Twitch, and he's WLVS at My Door on Twitter. You can find Wolves at My Door on YouTube.
Yeah.
Kristen, do you have anyone that you want to shout out that you have been watching or consuming recently?
Well, obviously, I want to shout out all of Team Kitty, which is a group of amazing, positive, upbeat, professional women on Twitch, all based around collaboration, not competition. But one specifically would be Hive Queen _ on Twitch. She's so positive, so kind. She plays a variety of her games. Her community is super positive and welcoming. So if you're looking to just like meld into a group of nice, kind people with a positive, happy face, when I'm not live, go watch Hive Queen _
That was awesome. That was awesome.
Snuck that in there. That's fantastic. Watch her anytime you want, except for between the hours of 7 and 9 when I'll be on.
I'm just joking. No, Hive
I
Queen
love that.
_ for sure. She's super underrated and a real queen.
Awesome.
Nailed it. Trevor, who's your pick this week?
Before I get into it, I think we're gonna name this segment. I'm gonna call it the side monitor segment because we're out here doing the work. When we're out here doing our non-stream stuff or like catching up on emails and stuff, I put up something on the side monitor all the time. It's either if I'm letting YouTube just run, or watching live streams and participating in chat. Because honestly, the biggest thing that drew me to Twitch was just being able to hang out and chat. It's so cool. It's just there's something about being like, hey guys, and everyone be like, hey, what's up? Like that's maybe my favorite thing about the whole thing. So I try to do that as much as possible. But anyway, so side monitor segment, that's what it's called from now on.
Love it. Great name.
My recommendation, and kind of in the theme of my last couple of weeks, because baseball is not happening at the moment. There are a lot of content creators out there that are making baseball related content or doing their best to be live streaming. And there's a guy named John Boy. He's a Yankees fan. I'll forgive him for that. But he is hilarious. And he built his YouTube basically going through big moments in the regular season of baseball and like dubbing his voice over like as if he's like commentating it, but he can swear like they can on TV. So
that's
it's super
actually
funny.
Pretty funny. That's cool.
Kind of genius. Wow.
And so now he's built a he's built a whole they have a podcast network. He's getting ex-players on there with him. He's doing all kinds of really cool stuff. He's got a little bit of back and forth going with another guy who is a huge Red Sox fan who does Barstool stuff. So like they've created this like a little bit of a, I don't know, I don't want to call it a feud because it's not a real thing, but like they jab at each other, and it's funny because they like rivals. And so he's doing a bunch of great stuff over on YouTube. Want to check it out? Some of the funny highlights he does. He did a few for the Twins last year that went pretty viral. That I was in one that was pretty cool, and he said what I was thinking, which was pretty close to right on. And then someone on our team hit a walk-off home run and then came in from third base like a gorilla, and he called it. It's really like, so we're all like, oh my God, he's acting like gorilla. Like, so we're all at home like, what do we do? This is so awkward. And the way he called it, he's like, and I guess he's coming in like a gorilla, but who cares? You just won the game. Like, it's pretty funny. So John Boy, that's JOMBOY Media on YouTube, and it's John Boy on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm pretty much the same everywhere. They got podcasts and they like to talk about baseball. So if you're into baseball, because there might be some baseball fans out there, check them out.
I love that. I think Kristen's going to be reaching out soon with an email about how to monetize that. That's fantastic.
Hey.
You need consulting? I know someone.
I know a good marketer. We'll really spin this
I got you. I can spin it all.
And lastly, Kristen, for you, our last question is what do you have going on right now that you're excited about? Do you have any events coming up? Obviously, probably not really like in the near future, but any events, streams, merch, anything like that you want to shout out?
Not really, but I am just launched a company. It's called Radiance Media. We're doing consulting and activation for companies looking to get into the gaming space. So just bringing more abundance to people in the space through authentic activations that are a win-win for everyone involved. So that's really exciting. And then other than events, I'm just going to sit on my exercise ball and play the heck out of Valorant. That's all I'm going to be doing. So I'm very excited, Paul. Yes.
You said not much, but then you're like, by the way, I started a company. Like, oh, okay.
A consulting company. So I was like just joking 5 seconds ago. I was like, I know someone, but you actually started a company. I didn't even know that. That's awesome. Good for you.
That's incredible. Much going on.
It's like when you just chip away at something for so long and so many years, and then you're like, it's like, okay, there it is.
You know a lot about it. Yeah.
It's birthed, and now it needs to just go crawl along. Go ahead now. Woo.
There's a beautiful image of your company crawling as a small baby across the ground.
It is a beautiful baby, though. It's a beautiful baby.
Well, that's fantastic. Again, congratulations on the company. That's fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
We now, listeners and also watchers on YouTube, have two ways for you guys to get on the pod. In addition to the review of the week, you can now use the hashtag AskMCA on Twitter. When the next guest is announced, you may have your question read in the next episode as well. Before we go, let's give a shout out to that review of the week by Apollonium. I definitely said that correct. So, just wanted to say I love listening to gaming/influencer podcasts, and you guys put out a quality show that's very entertaining. I've enjoyed all the episodes so far, so keep up the great work, guys. Thank you, Apollonium, so much for that review. Super appreciate it. It's very kind. Don't forget to leave a review yourself. You can do that on the YouTube channel, which we do read the comments on, or even the Apple Podcast as well. You can leave it there, and we'll pull them from there too. This is the May Contain Action podcast. You can listen on all major carriers of podcasts, including Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, or you can watch the VOD on YouTube as well. 5-star ratings, and again, leave a review. Who knows, we may read it out next time. Also, go follow at May Contain Pod on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And also our now new YouTube channel. We don't have a / yet, but we're working on that. It's going to happen soon. And lastly, before we go as well, Kristen, please plug all your things so all of our viewers know where to find you and not Hive Queen. Where can we find you?
Hey, KittyPlays on all platforms. KittyPlays on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, all the different socials. KittyPlays on Google. KittyPlays on MySpace, maybe. Ooh, I don't know. Maybe there's something.
I don't even know if that even exists anymore.
I don't control that. Don't go over there. Okay, great.
Checking
Thank
right
you for having me,
MySpace.
guys.
Checking. Incredible. Thank you, Kitty. Host number 2. Where can we find you, bud?
I am Trevor May on Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. Trevor May Baseball is the second YouTube channel where I talk all about baseball. I'm doing breakdowns of, stuff that happened last year and trying to do all kinds of special content over there. So make sure you sub so you don't miss that stuff. And then I'm Trev May 65 on Instagram, and I'm never changing it. Don't ask anymore.
Okay, it's officially not happening. Perfect. After
Officially
24
not
episodes,
I love how
let
you
it
gave
go.
the other guy crap for numbers and stuff in his face.
Yeah, I'm just so afraid of losing the check mark, dude.
All right.
Oh, called out.
Yeah,
Absolutely
she's
called
right.
out.
She's right.
No, she's absolutely right.
Got nothing. I don't know what to say.
And I am Paul, aka ActionJaxon. You can find me on Twitch /ActionJaxon, on YouTube /ActionJaxon, on Twitter @ActionJaxon, and on Instagram @ActionJaxon. By the way, no, that's unfortunate. We're real close to brand loyalty across the board.
We're gonna fix it. We're gonna get better. We're gonna get better.
We're gonna get so much better. We're on our way up. We're like little babies crawling across the floor.
Yeah,
Like kitties
we
in
learned a lot
company.
today. Gonna
We did.
implement it tonight.
Thank you again so much, guys, for listening, for tuning in, for watching the VOD. And again, huge shout out to our guest, KittyPlays Games, for being on the pod. Thank you.
Thanks,
Kitty.
Kristen.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you. Bye,
Thank
guys.
you so much for having me, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Great job.